Hey everybody, we're back again with another opinion and video review video. This time we're going to be tackling a platformer puzzle game called Scarf. It's by Uprising Studios. I believe it came out on PC first on Steam, and then now it's over. I'm playing this on PS5. It came out, I believe, about 3 weeks ago for me. I believe in the beginning of July. I'm sorry, I don't know the exact release date, but I played it pretty shortly after it was released. And I want to say that I had a good time with this game. It didn't surprise me, but it's hard to surprise people nowadays. I mean, there's so many games. It's so hard to be like super creative and original with ideas. A lot of these games borrow stuff from other ones, and we're totally fine with that, right? So in this game, you are platforming pretty much the whole time. There really isn't any combat, nothing like that. There are puzzles you solve. There are, as you see me collecting right now, a picture or drawing. There's drawings you collect. There's toys you pick up. There are memories you find that correlate with what's going on. And there's little hints around. I don't want to give away too much, but there's hints, if you pay attention, hints around that also let you know what's going on and what went on. So this game does tell a fairly simple story. It's simple to follow along with, and not in a bad way. It's easy to follow along with, but there are some things that you do that can affect the outcome of the game. And although I wasn't blown away or like necessarily surprised by what had happened in these outcomes at the end, it was still nice to see. It kind of paid off a little bit. The game is not trying to, do anything groundbreaking. It is a decently looking game. The art style is nice. I liked it. Probably the best thing about the game is the visuals. But the platforming is pretty straightforward. You get like different abilities as you go on. Oh, not abilities, but I guess they are abilities. Like you can glide, you can double jump, you can slingshot, you can use a grappling hook and so forth. But that there's not too many more things you can do. And then you also as I mentioned, you find collectibles and stuff, but they don't really have an impact on like any progression or nothing except for the memories. The memories, I will say, they allow you to. I don't want to spoil anything. Just the memories are important. I actually all the collectibles are, but the memories are the most important in my opinion, from what I saw. I did play through the game a couple times. I spent about 4.5 hours on this game. You can definitely get through the game in a couple hours if you're trying to go through fast. I don't really think you need to spend a ton of time like getting stuck on a section. The pacing's pretty decent, and you're not going to find a ton of like how I say this, like people to interact with or nothing. It's essentially you in this world, and you're doing things for the scarf. But the scarf is an entity, so and you'll find all this out at the beginning of the game. But your main objective is to do these things for the scarf, and I don't want to tell you why because you might want to not know too much about this. But for what this game is, the platforming is solid, not too complicated, and the puzzles are fairly simple until you get towards the very end where they become a little bit more complicated, but nothing too crazy. And for what this game did, I felt like it did its job. I don't think they were trying to blow our minds with anything. So if you're looking for a fun little platforming game, it's not super expensive. It's well done in terms of like there's no bugs. It's audio's fine. The art style's fine. It's just a solid game. Um, for what it is, I think I definitely enjoyed it. Probably it met my expectations. It didn't exceed them. I wasn't disappointed. I have nothing else I really wish it did differently because I always try to say I wish there was more combat stuff or like progression or RPG elements, but I have to kind of get in my head that not every game's going to be that way, right? So I'm going to give this game a 7, which I think is, in my opinion, a 7 out of 10 is a pretty good score. And honestly, I went into this pretty much thinking it was going to be about that because I heard good things about it. I try not to read other people's reviews before I play it because I don't want to get biased or like any kind of like steering my opinion in a certain direction. But yeah, 7 out of 10 for Scarf. I think if you guys are looking for a platformer game, again with a story driven one, and it's not doesn't take a long time, so you can do this in one sitting for sure. I recommend trying to do this in one sitting if you have 3 hours or so to yourself. Do it. Play Scarf. I think you'll be happy with that. So that's my take on Scarf. Hope you like my opinion. If not, well, it's my opinion.